Well, Tony Hale's next adventure takes him into the animated world as we get to follow the life of Archibald, a chicken whose adventures don't always go as planned. Take a look.
Here goes! Welcome to town, new family. There's lots to do on your days free. For Mike, there's bike trails up the street. And Brooke, there's book club every week. Dennis can tennis in the park. Plus Friday film nights when it's dark.
Let's talk about Archibald. Now, the show had 2 seasons on Netflix, and now will be exclusively on Peacock for season 3.
It's the same world, but kind of a new iteration of it. I am obsessed with Archibald, this chicken. The way he sees the world is something that I aspire to be. He makes a lot of mistakes, which I myself make, but the way he looks at them, he just has this attitude of trying to see the best in every situation and the best in every person or character. After the year we've had, I'm like, man, this world needs that.
Yeah.
This world needs that, because we're all, me included, just listen to the noise that we're hearing, the bad news, the critics, people seeing the worst in everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's like, for me, working on this chicken on a daily basis of just the way he sees the world is such an inspiration. And he's funny and quirky, and it's a blast to do, but just his view on life is something that I really aspire to be.
I love that Archibald is a chicken. Why a chicken, Tony?
Right, great question. Great question. It came from a book years ago that I did with my buddies, Victor Huckabee and Tony Biagni. And I was at an art show in LA back in 2009, I think. And I went with a buddy, and there was this artist, Victor Huckabee, who had created Archibald, the chicken. And he was a different kind of look that he is now, but the base of him was there. And I remember being drawn to him because I was a big fan of Beaker on The Muppet Show. I don't know if you remember Beaker, but he was the tall kind of like, he had the same shape as Archibald. And he was really just always in this like shocked perspective. Anyways, I loved Beaker. And he reminded me of Beaker. And I love the color yellow. Yellow is one of my favorite colors. So I was just kind of drawn to him. And then I talked to Victor about maybe creating a children's book around him. And that's where Archibald kind of came into fruition. And then my buddies, Jake and Drew, heard me do a book reading at a bookstore downtown one day and said, I think we should pitch a show about this. Because in the book, he learns this lesson about being present and not always looking to your next thing because you miss where you are. But now he's learned this lesson of being present, and now he just sees the world, the best in people and the best in situations, and he's quirky and makes mistakes. And it just became this own life and this own world in the show. So that's how it kind of came out.
Now that, this is a new season, what kind of guest voices will we be hearing from?
I mean, the fact that Rosamund Pike is our narrator on the show is such a gift, because she has this real calming English voice, and then Archibald's just all over the place. Chelsea Kane plays Loy, my sister. Adam Pally plays Sage, my brother. Jordan Fisher, who's just incredibly talented, plays my other brother, Finley. Kari Walgren is the bee. But then we've had Henry Winkler on. Julie Louis-Dreyfus played a space monkey. RuPaul came and played a fashion designer. Being in this world, I've really learned to appreciate so many voice artists that are out there. Just like Roger Craig Smith, Kevin Michael Richardson, Eric Bauza, these people who when I tell you, like 50, 60 different voices come out of their mouth, and you're just like, what's going on? And so all these people come in and do different voices. These are like my new celebrities. Like, I just think they are unbelievable.
How did you come to that this would be the voice for Archibald?
The scary thing about sometimes when I think about the characters I've done is how naturally they've come to me. And I don't know what that says about me, but like Buster, when I did Arrested, he just kind of came to me and I was like, God, what is this saying about me? And then Gary on Veep, this like emasculated kind of puppet and like mime pretty much. He just kind of like, I don't know, I just kind of thought about him and he just kind of came. So like Archibald, I would just play with a couple voices, but it wasn't a long process. I want him to have a little bit of New York in him and I'd be a little bit higher. He screams a lot, but he's just very positive.
You're also executive producing and starring in a movie out later this year called Eat Wheaties. Tell us about that.
It's based on a book, and it really is a story about a guy who doesn't know much about technology. He's a bit of a loner. He kind of gets on Facebook and starts making mistakes, and he has this celebrity crush, and he kind of makes a fool of himself, but it really is it's a lesson on, even though, as we've seen this year, technology has really saved our butts. Many times technology can provide not a genuine connection.
Yeah.
And can put a lot of lies out there about someone. And because of his mistakes on technology, very innocent mistakes, it kind of created this false narrative around him.
Well, I want to let everybody know that you can catch the premiere of DreamWorks Archibald's Next Big Thing is here exclusively on Peacock. Thank you as always, Tony.
Thank you. Good to see you again.